Hello and welcome to the North American Guitar. We are not in the showroom, we are at Kostal HQ with the one and only Mr. Jason Kostal. We are the first time that I'm actually seeing the OMC in master grade Koa that we discussed a while ago. God, this is exciting.
Oh, it's a beautiful guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this guitar is obviously being built right now. The box is done. I'm getting ready to bind it. The neck will go on in the next week or so, and it'll head off to finish and should be arriving in England sometime in the next 6 weeks or so. But basically what we have here is my OMC model. It's got a Manzer wedge, which is interesting because when I started building OMs, I thought, oh, they don't need wedges. They're not that big of a guitar. But about 50 to 55% of all of my OMs now have the Manzer style wedge. And once I started playing them, I was like, this is the most comfortable thing in the entire world.
Comfortable.
So it really is an incredible thing.
And does not affect the volume or the tone?
Not the way that I do it. So everybody kind of does it a little bit different. If you think of the back and sides as being two parallel lines, or I'm sorry, the back and the top, what I do is a normal Manzer style wedge is you just kind of basically bring the bass side of the back in a little bit. But what I do is I actually bring the bass side in, and then I also increase the width at the treble side. So you're rotating the plate, and the overall cubic volume is about the same. We've just changed its displacement. So the reality is that we haven't really reduced the air mass at all. It's the same size as a standard OM. We're just shifting how it feels. And when you set it onto your lap, you kind of have a natural pocket, so it's fitting into that pocket really comfortably. The narrowness of the bass side makes your shoulder feel like you're not reaching over a deep guitar, and it just feels incredibly comfortable to play. But you can still play it standing up, sitting down, and you don't feel like anything's rotating. It's not, you know, the top is not like rotating up. It's just, it's filling the area of your body a little bit differently. And what's nice is your shoulder in particular doesn't feel like it's as big as it really is. But no change in tone. No.
And to tell us about, because you were particularly excited about this set of Koa. So just I know you love Koa.
I do. I love Koa. It's an incredible wood. It's getting much harder to find this quality. And I wish that weren't true. And I'm not saying that because I want people to think like, oh, this guitar is super rare or whatever. It's just, the reality is Koa grows very quickly. And you know, in the past, when we started looking at Koa, like in the early ukuleles, Martin ukuleles, things like that, these trees that were being cut down were 200 years old. And you know, they grow to this huge height, and the density of the wood is what compresses it and creates this amazing figure. Well, because the Koa tree grows quickly, we chop it down, we plant it, and while we would ideally like to wait 80 to 100 years, at 20 years we can cut that tree down and use it. So what you're finding is that a lot of the trees being cut now for utilization in furniture, gifts in Hawaii, you know, whatever, are young trees that are maybe at full maturity, but they don't have the height and density to really create this figure. So you're finding more and more Koa that's just beautiful orange hues, but you're not getting that flame. And so I love the wood. I've searched kind of all over the planet to find a source for this wood, and in all reality, I found basically one place where I could find it. Everywhere else, they may get one set in, two sets, you know, but so when
You've done a great job, because this is...
It's phenomenal.
I don't know if this is being
beautiful
picked up by
wood.
the camera, but it is absolutely incredible, the figure on that.
And so when I find, you know, really nice sets, I get very excited because I want to see them become guitars. I don't want to sit, you know, have it sit on the shelf. I want to see it made into something. And this guitar is starting to take shape. It's really starting to kind of come together. And I think for me, that's when I'm like, I want to get this done. I want to hear it. I want to see it. And this is just an exciting instrument. I'm really glad it's coming to you.
What an exciting stage to be at, because, and just tell me what, I get asked this all the time, you know, what do you love so much about the Koa and German Spruce combo?
You know, I don't really have an answer to that. What I can tell you is I've owned a guitar since I was 4 years old, And to this day, one guitar that really kind of blew me away that I owned for many years was made out of koa. So part of it is in my mind. I just have this memory of playing that guitar, being really excited about it, you know, feeling really good about it. I love the color. You know, sometimes we have a lot of really nice exotic woods that aren't very colorful. They're just kind of one monochrome. Yeah, maybe there's some figure. Koa tends to have hues across the entire spectrum. You know, tans, orange, you know, golden, and then dark striations and everything else. And then you add the flame. I think it's just beautiful to look at visually. And I think there's a lot of woods out there. Koa, maple, those are probably the two big ones. Walnut, I guess, too, where we have this perception of how they sound in a guitar.
Yeah.
And most of that perception is a result of the factories, the manufacturers,
Taylor,
Taylor, Martin, Gibson. And you don't remember when you're having that discussion that they aren't sitting there and voicing the instrument to this wood. You know, their guitars are built the same way every single time, no matter what wood is used. So we play these guitars and people go, oh, well, maple's very bright and koa does this and walnut does this. And it's gotten this kind of reputation. And so a lot of people discredit the wood because they've never played it in a guitar made by somebody that understands the wood and has the time to voice the instrument, to, you know, to augment the properties of the wood and remove things that maybe we don't want. And that's how I view koa. You know, I finish these guitars and I play them and I'm like, man, this is an amazing guitar. And other people that have never played it, like, well, it's koa, you know, koa can't really do anything. It's like, you have no idea, you know. And so I think part of why I get excited about building a maple guitar or a koa guitar is I'm trying to change people's perception of these woods. And, you know, I love rosewoods. You know, that's you know, my ideal guitar. You know, Madagascar rosewood, Brazilian rosewood, Honduran rosewood, even Indian, or an amazing set of mahogany. You know, those are always going to be my go-to. But the world's changing, and it's harder to get good quality wood. The good quality wood now has a lot of restrictions that we have to deal with. So what I'm thinking is, you know, how do we perpetuate handcrafted guitars? How do we perpetuate our love and joy of music, but do it in instruments we can be proud of? And so there's a lot of alternative tone woods. And you know, the sad thing is that the reality of the guitar industry is that until a Martin or a Taylor builds with it, it's not socially acceptable. So I have woods that nobody's seen before in a guitar that I think, man, this would build a great guitar. And I just can't build with them because people are going to look at it like, oh, okay, nice idea. Oh, it's pretty to look at. But koa is one of those that has, you know, people understand it, they love it, but I think it has kind of a different reputation than what it should have because of what their reference is. So I get excited because I'm trying to show people this is an incredible tone wood and builds an amazing guitar. And some of the koa guitars that I've built are some of my favorite guitars that I've made.
We've seen a real increase in koa orders this year.
Interesting.
Yeah, a serious increase. I love koa guitars, and yeah, they do have a lot of brightness that is what everybody talks about. But I still think that if you are going for something like a jumbo or even an OM, you still got to have a nice bit of depth in the body, so you're still going to get a nice balanced, you know, bottom end to it as well. But yeah, I'm super excited because this is visually beautiful to look at, and I just know that it's going to be a tonal juggernaut.
It's exciting, and you know, the rosette on this one is Amboina burl, which is a very expensive, you know, very difficult to find wood. It's maple burl, and then we've got some dyed maple burl as well. So the three together, you know, really tie together. And I tried to bring in the color scheme, the color palette of the koa into the rosette. But you know,
you've done that beautifully. It's real. It's they sort of merge into each other, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, it's an exciting thing, and I can't wait to finish this guitar. I mean, each day when I work on it, I'm like, oh. So,
we can't wait either. Okay, so for more information on the finest hand-built luthier instruments, then please do subscribe to this channel. But for more information on this phenomenal koa OMC from Jason Kostal, please do get in touch.